Yo, what's up guys, Balancing Channel, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a comparison of the V1 Orion and the v1.5 Orion, and then we're also going to do a review on the Orion 1.5 trainer, the Orion 1.5 Live, and then after that we're also going to compare these two with each other as well. But let's get on with the very beginning. We'll first compare the V1 with the 1.5, and just go over everything that's kind of changed between these two, right? So I have this thing printed out here, screenshot of the LED wipe holes, because there was quite a lot that I was not able to remember all of it. So basically, right, there's new blade shapes. As you can see, the live blades have changed a little bit. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's deeper on the spine here. As you can see, this is more straight, this one is more deeper, and it's a bit changed like that, and this is also a little bit bigger, it seems, right? So that's the first thing. Also, for the trainer blade, I don't have the V1 trainer blade with me, but that is also a bit changed. Actually, you know what, let me see if I can find it. Hold up, give me. Right, so I did actually manage to find it. So this is the trainer blade for the 1, and this is the trainer blade for the 2. So there's quite some differences here. Obviously, this is now changed, this pattern here. Which one do I like more? I don't know. I think the V1.5 looks a bit better, but I do like both of them. They're very unique, and it's also nice that in that way you can actually spot if it's a V1 or a V1.5. So yeah, so the blade shape and design has changed from the V1 to the V1.5. Now the spacers have also changed from the V1 and the V2. Now if you look from the outside, you can barely notice any difference. It's pretty much the same, right, on both the live and the trainer. That is because on the live blade nothing really changed. It's more the trainer versions of the V1 and the V1.5 that are different, and it's also written down here. So basically, the new spacers, so the Orion 1.5 will have adjustable weights. So if you take apart the handle, you will have adjustable weights in your spacers right here at the bottom, something that the Orion V1 did not have so far. Now, another very big difference between the 1 and the 1.5s is the material of the washers. These ones are just standard washers. I'm pretty sure they're copper made, and then these ones are now made from pure titanium. They did this because they wanted to have they want to have more rigidity, yeah, that word, and more strength compared to the original coppers that they had on the V1s. So that's what they've changed with this one as well. And honestly, it does feel like a pretty you do notice the difference. They do feel a bit more sturdy on the 1.5s, but this is more like a long-term thing when you start really beating your knives. Obviously, I did not have these ones for that long so far, so I really, I'll notice some difference, but not like the full extent of it. So this is more like for a long-term thing on how much they can, tolerate with beating and everything, right? They also changed the pivot design. Now, I'm not sure if you can see that on. Now, they also changed the pivot design. Obviously, that's not something you'll see from just looking at the pivots right here. It's more like on the inside and on the design of the actual, thread and stuff. So it's not something you can see just by looking at the screw head. But they changed that as well to make it easier to tune, because we've had some issues, of course, with the V1s where tuning and disassembling it was like really difficult, where you were more likely to strip your screws through the pivot loose. So one of my T10 screwdrivers actually broke because I was trying to unscrew one of my V1s, my previous V1, the green one. That's pivots. I wanted to unscrew those, and it just kind of broke my T10, which was a Weha. It's not like some cheap stuff. It was a Weha T10, some good stuff, and it just broke because that's how tight they were. So the new pivot design should prevent that. These are a lot easier to take apart and unscrew, which is a really good improvement. Also, they changed the weight distribution along the handles, but also I think that has something to do with the trainer blade. As you can see here, if you compare these two, this one has a bit more steel, on the blade. This one has more open spots, so that also will help more with the weight distribution. But yeah, they've also, you know, optimized that for the Orion, so you will have more of like a neutral balance. And the biggest difference of all, which I have not mentioned yet, is the first of all the price and the blade distribution. So there is a reason why I have two Orion v1.5s and only one Orion v1 with just a separate trainer blade, because originally if you were to buy an Orion v1 like this one, the Cerakoted, or just any of the aluminum versions, if you were to buy one of these, you would get the trainer blade with it. I have the box for it right here. As you can see, you have the box, you have your spare hardware, your knife, and then your spare blade goes right in there, right? So you have that going right in there. Now, with the V1s, let me show you the box that you get with that one. As you can see, it is a small box, right? If you just open it up real quick, as you can see, there's only room for a blade. Now, you do get spare hardware with this one. I have it saved here somewhere. So they do actually give you spare hardware, as you can see. They just roll it up in like a little bag. So it's like that. I have an unboxing, I'm pretty sure, on my channel where it shows, you know, what you get and stuff. But yeah, so no more two blades. So that's why the price is also changed. So these were to go for 150 plus shipping, right? And you get both the blades. Now, these ones are going for different prices. I'm pretty sure these are like 89 for the trainers and 99 for the live blades, or something along those lines. They are both sub $100 plus shipping. So the price point is very, very attractive. You know, having a quality knife like this one, or the live blade even, especially the live blade, for under $100, you know, obviously without the shipping, is just crazy. You know, I remember when I started back in the day, finding a quality live blade, even clones, you would have to go for like 150, $200 range to even get something good, right? And now you can get a quality live blade that will not break down you, that has, you know, crazy production quality and everything, for just under $100. So that is also one of the bigger changes between, you know, the live blade, or between the V1 and the 1.5, is just the fact that you only get one blade, but you know, it costs you less, I guess. I will be getting a Orion v1.5 drop for EU, which is pretty dope. With the Chinese New Year though, it might be a little bit later because, you know, shipping will be halted and stuff. And so LDY told me that it's probably not going to be for January, maybe for after that, somewhere in February. So if you are looking to pick one of these two up, whether it's a trainer blade or a live blade or both, you know, it is coming. It might just take a little bit more time. So yeah. Now the good thing is, with the fact that the Orion 1.5s are, you know, separate, you know, live blade or trainer, is the fact that I will be able to open up my sales, my EU drop, you know, to outside the EU as well, because trainer blades or trainer knives, you can just put those in one package and you can ship them internationally, usually without any problems. You know, live blades, obviously you have to do it in two. You have to like take it apart, disassemble it, and then ship it out in two packages, you know, 2 times shipping, 2 times import tax, all that bullshit, right? But because the V1.5s are just, you know, live blade or trainer, I'll be able to ship the trainer ones out to international buyers as well. So really, really cool that we can do that too. Obviously the live blades will have to stay within the EU unless you're willing to pay 2 times shipping and 2 times import tax, and of course, you know, having the additional risk involved. But yeah, so obviously length wise, thickness wise, everything, you know, nothing really has changed from the V1 to the 1.5. It's still the same knife, they just made those few adjustments that I had mentioned before. Obviously this one has a Cerakoted finish. These ones are just, you know, regular, they don't have really any finish. But there are a few noticeable differences though on, I'm gonna put this over here, on the, you know, the handles and stuff. Now I'm not sure, because I can't remember anymore from my very first Orion, which had no coating as well. It was like not Cerakoted. It was kind of like this one, but like the V1 version. I can't really remember properly if it had the same depths, like let's say on here, on, you know, the pattern here, and on the jimping, because with the Cerakote, as you can see, it doesn't go as deep. Let me just compare it to, you know, it's noticeable that the patterns are a bit deeper milled. Now, I'm not sure if the V1 had that as well, and that is now just because of the Cerakote. You know, obviously it's filling up some space because it's paint, you know, obviously it thickens up a bit. So I'm not too sure if the V1 that I had was also same like depth on the pattern and stuff, or if it was also like this and that they changed it for the v1.5. One difference you can easily tell though is on the hole here. This is like round out, and this is just like, you know, a circle. You know, it's not rounded. It's very hard to say with the flash on, but let me just see if I can get this. There you go. So it's not round, it's just a circle. It's not rounded out. It's like this one. This one's deep. It's very hard to show with the flash, but yeah, basically, so that's different. Yeah, the jimping is, I would say, the same thickness. I don't think they changed anything on that. Also with the Cerakote, this feels a bit thicker, you know, less deep, but I'm pretty sure it's all the same. It's just because of the coating that it feels different, right? So also, if you go look on the nipple, it is a little bit different. We have more like a diamond shape on the V1, and then now more like a well, what is that, a square-ish shape on the v1.5. Further, it doesn't really change anything. It's just a change of the blade style, as we mentioned before, so nothing really changes there as well. And in terms of flippability, it is also very hard to compare because, again, this one is Cerakoted, so the feel of it is different. I've noticed that with the Cerakote, at some moments it feels very grippy, like more grippy than with the regular, you know, no finish. But sometimes, you know, when it's like hot and everything, like hot in your room and you have more like sweaty palms and stuff, this one tends to slip a little bit more away from you than this one. This one is more like consistent, but I feel like in just dry, regular conditions, you know, this one feels, to me at least, a bit more grippy because of the finish. But honestly, nonetheless, it's still, you know, it's not just gonna go flying if you you know, it's just really good. So, you know, in terms of flippability, balance, everything like that, nothing really is different than the V1. I highly recommend these knives, not because I'm sponsored. All of my reviews are always honest, y'all know that. You know, so I always highly recommend the Orion, especially for beginners. You know, if I had this option when I was just starting and I had a very tight budget, or I was just not sure whether I want to pursue this hobby or not, and I didn't want to just lay down a couple $100 right from the start, you know, if I had the option to buy an Orion when I was starting, I would instantly go for this, considering all the positive reviews from the community, people enjoying it, people you know, just supporting it and everything. The fact that it's also very, I would say, relatively easy to come by. You know, they do regular drops and this and that. There are quite a few distributors now, also me being the EU distributor. So it is quite easy to get your hands on one of these, and then for also a very relatively low cost. So I highly recommend both the V1 or the V1.5. It just kind of depends on what you like, whether you want to be able to switch, you know, blades in between, or whether you like a certain finish or not. So yeah, that kind of just concludes my comparison / review on the Orion V1 1.5 trainer and 1.5 live blade. As I said, you know, just to recap, not many differences in terms of looks, apart from the blade styles. You know, the performance has been a bit upgraded from the V1 to the V1.5, but more like on the long term, not really on the short term. It's something you'll notice immediately. Price point has changed. You only get one blade instead of two. You have to make your choice. V1.5 drop is coming in the future. Just be on the lookout for that. I'll definitely be posting videos about that as well, you know, just like with the V1 drop, and you know, on Instagram, on YouTube, whatever. So yeah, that is coming. Which one do you want? It really just depends on your preference. One or two blades. If you want a certain finish that they don't offer on the V1, you can get it on the V1.5. But if they don't offer like the white with black Cerakoted finish, they don't have that on the V1.5. If you want this kind of finish, you know, you should get a V1 and stuff like that. Yeah, so that is pretty much gonna do it. for this video. I hope you guys learned something new from this video. I hope you guys, I hope I was able to help you guys make a decision on whether you want to buy a V1, v1.5, or if you just wanted to learn more about it. I hope I educated you enough about the new line of knives made by LDY. Again, thank you LDY for sending me these two for me to review and, you know, just to make some videos with. Yeah, be on the lookout for more videos, you know, tutorials, just regular freestyles and everything, also for here and on YouTube, or on YouTube and on Instagram with these knives. And yeah, that's gonna do for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are brand new, and without further ado, I hope to see you guys in the next video very soon. Peace.